Hi, I'm Tyson with Adventure Rig, and Callie and I are out on the trails today with the La Sportiva Lycan II. Now, I originally got this shoe because I wanted something that would kind of fill a couple different areas in my life. Something I can run on the trails with, but also I could hike with or wear a small day pack with, and it would still give me the support that I needed. Insert Lycan II. This has been a great shoe for a lot of different activities, except for walking on the cement. We'll get to that in a little bit. You can see that the upper on this shoe is a nice synthetic material, and then here on the tongue as well as the toe box, you do have a little bit of mesh and a little bit of mesh here that aids in the breathability of this shoe. For me personally, my feet run a little bit on the warmer side, and these work great up to about 80 degrees. After that, I could tell that my feet were getting hot. However, where Callie and I are here in the mountains, we don't have to deal with hot temperatures too often. If you're out in Arizona or Utah, you're running in the desert, that may be something to keep in mind. The sole is made with La Sportiva's Frixion rubber. I like the rubber a lot. It's very sticky, gives me a lot of confidence and a lot of traction in that terrain where maybe the rock is very steep, it's loose, you're in gravel, you're in sandy situations. This really gives me a lot of confidence in all of those types of conditions. The one downside, I kind of hinted on it earlier, cement. This does not do extremely well on cement. It just wears really fast. That's kind of the downside of having a lot of traction with really sticky rubber. It wears down. So if we're in town, running through town to the trails, I found that I get a lot of wear on the heel here. So on this particular shoe, it's kind of these outer two lugs, and then on the other shoe, it's the center lug. I don't know why it wears like that. I think it has something to do with my running style. That's the one downside though. I talked to La Sportiva about it, and they did say that if you're on the cement, this is gonna wear down a lot faster than actually using them in the terrain that they're made for, being the trails. What's nice about this synthetic upper that they have is that it does provide a lot of protection for your foot. Again, if you're in that rocky terrain where maybe it's loose or it's sharp, if you are hitting the side of the shoe, you do have some protection there. Also, this toe cap that they provide gives you a lot of protection from rocks there as well. If you're kicking rocks, you're not gonna feel it on your toes quite as much. This tongue is nice and padded all the way from the top to the bottom. However, it's not gusseted, so I can find that I do manage to get some very small rocks or sand down the edge of the tongue throughout the day if you're doing a lot of running in those kinds of conditions. They do provide 2 eyelets for your laces here. For me, I've found that I'm just using the first one, but depending on how you like to lace up your shoes, you may find that you're using the rear or even both of them. Now, like a lot of La Sportiva shoes, the sizing can run a little small and slightly narrow. That's why I tend to gravitate toward the La Sportiva line, because my foot is a lower volume foot, and I found that the La Sportivas really fit me well because of that. This toe box fits nice and snug, and it's narrow throughout the entire shoe. So I would say if you're average to narrow, the La Sportiva is definitely a nice line to look at. I would, however, recommend sizing up at least half a size. I'm usually a 10 or 10.5. I would step up to an 11 in this shoe. And then depending on how big of socks you wear, how much cushioning, you may even want to step up another half size from that. But I would at least start a half size larger. Out of the box, the shoes provide a lot of comfort. However, I did find that these took a little bit of a break-in for me. I had to put some miles on them, a few days in the shoe to really get them to start feeling comfortable and not have some hot spots on particularly my left foot. Honestly, my right foot was fine, but for some reason, it took a little bit of breaking in for my left foot to really feel as good as the right. The Lycan II does have 6 millimeters of heel toe drop, so it's 28 millimeters here at the heel and then 22 millimeters in the toe. It's a nice gradual drop, nothing that's drastic when you slip the shoe on. It just gives it that nice comfortable feeling. These are not the lightest shoes on the market. However, with everything they provide, from the protected toe, this nice synthetic upper, the cushioned sole, I think that they are very competitive for their weight. And for what I want to do with them, they work great. If you're looking for that shoe that will take you through lots of varying terrain, if you're wearing a light pack, if you're hiking, if you're running, and you need something that will be with you all day, every day, I would definitely consider the Lycan II as a very good option. If you guys have any questions on it, please leave them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you. Also, if you have any questions about where we are or what we're up to, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Adventure Rig. Thanks again for watching. I'm Tyson with Adventure Rig.